Yeah, fear, the four-letter word that stops people from realizing their dreams and becoming an entrepreneur. I had a person recently ask me in the comments, hey, how do I let my father know that I want to go in business for myself? And I can feel that question. That was a question of fear. That was like, how do I let them know that I want to give up my full-time job? This is one of the most common fears. But today, I'm going to talk to you about 4 fears and how to overcome them so that you can be successful in business. So if you're interested in learning more about them, I'm going to invite you to come along for the journey as we dive in. Hey, welcome to a random podcast where we challenge the status quo and we empower people like you to think differently. Well, most of us have fears. Fear is nothing but doubt. Doubt in one's ability, doubt in one's circumstances, doubt in one's concept. That's what fear is. So today we're going to look at 4 fears, and then at the end, I'm going to have a golden nugget for you, a common thread that you can take through any fear that you have in life to be able to dominate. So let's go ahead and start off with number 1, people bondage. I did a video sometime back, and it was in reference to building up confidence. One of the steps that was pertinent was about people bondage. The fear that we have is people telling us we can't do it, naysayers. And that's the subject of the person who asked the question that kind of sparked me to do this video. Most of us have a fear of being rejected, ridiculed, made fun of, or be a disappointment to people because we're not doing things the way that they want to do it. Also, we're looking for approval. Hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's great. You should do that. I'm going to tell you when it comes to people bondage, don't give a flip. Point blank, don't give a flip. If they don't have anything positive to add, and what I mean by positive, that means positive feedback on how to overcome things, or positive feedback on looking at alternative ways. If they're negative, you don't need them. You have to learn how to turn people off because your vision, your dream is yours, and people aren't always going to accept it. They can't see it the way that you see it. It was given to you for a reason. People tend to give you advice based on the level where they're at or the level what they think they can achieve. So don't be limited by other people's views and opinions and be concerned about their feedback with you going into business. Take the dive. It's just a risk. The world's not going to end. The second fear that most people have is the inadequacy in being able to do the job. And this could also come from, number 1, the people bondage, where someone told you you couldn't do it. Someone told you wasn't smart enough. Someone told you didn't have enough experience. People like to sow doubt into your mind in order to prevent you from moving ahead of them. And sometimes you want to put doubt in your own mind because you want to stay in your comfort zone. So you feel inadequate in areas of going into business and you say, hey, I'm just not going to do it. Instead of becoming adequate if you are inadequate. Instead of finding and seeking out people who can mentor you. Watch that video that I did. Instead of finding people who could be on your board. Instead of joining groups that you can get information on. Instead of realizing your ability to listen to videos, read books, and absorb information just like you're doing right now. I have a whole library of videos that you can watch on how to start the businesses, how to be able to run the businesses, and the things to watch out for. If you really want to go into business, you really have a desire to, you can overcome this fear by educating yourself, making yourself more adequate, and shutting out the noise of the naysayers. All right. Fear number 3, livelihood. This one is big. Some people worry about, hey, what if I don't make enough money? And I can't feed my family or I can't pay my bills. I mean, I don't want to lose what I have. I mean, I don't know if I want to take a risk because I might not make enough money. Well, guess what, folks? This is simple. I don't know why we over-dramatize things like this. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to think this one out. It's our own fears that have been seeded into us, whether it's from our upbringing or whether it's from our family members or friends, or whether it's something about our own self-esteem. But it's easily resolved. Just because you go into business doesn't mean you have to forfeit your other source of income or you don't game plan for another source of income. You might need to open your new business on a part-time basis and try it out. See how well it works. You don't have to blow up the bridge from which you come. You still can maybe work a full-time job. You might have to just work physically harder 10 times, 20 times more. You might be able to put other people in a position of running the business as far as operational wise while you still receive some type of paycheck. You might have a spouse that can also aid in the business or is receiving a paycheck. You can also take on more partners in your business. So now there's more people to take on the responsibility. Therefore, you can stay hitched to some solid paycheck if that is your fear. If that's what you fear, you can eliminate it just like that. But there will come a time that you will have to let the pacifier go, especially if things are moving well with the business. And that leads to fear number 4. Number 4. Oh my goodness, what if I go out of business? What if my company tanks? Everything I put into it, all the time, the resources, go down the drain. I lose everything. I'm devastated. That's what your fear is, that you go 10 toes deep and you lose it all and you feel like you'll be ruined. This is your fear. Well, guess what? Stuff happens. That's number 1. Number 2, what if the job you work on closes tomorrow? You get a pink slip. Oh my gosh, your world is destroyed there as well. So why you put so much faith in someone else's business, but you're not putting faith in your business and you're worried about, oh my God, what if I lose everything? Oh, I don't want to put in everything and lose everything. You ever hear a person go, well, you know what? I could have did better, but I didn't put everything into it because I wasn't willing to risk it. That's why you didn't do better. Okay. The great thing about owning your own business is that you can see the writing on the wall before it happens. So if you're 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year out from being at devastation levels, and you can prepare to be able to exit successfully without being devastated like you would if you got a pink slip. So stop making excuses for not going 10 toes down on going into your business. I always used to have a saying to people, don't get off the porch unless you plan to play. So in other words, if you don't want to do it, okay, let somebody else do it. Let somebody else be successful doing what you have in mind, doing what your vision is, because someone will give birth to it eventually and they will pursue it. And then you will be kicking yourself in behind if you already haven't been kicking yourself in behind. So this fear, you have to throw it away. You have to say, I did my research. I got my people together to advise me. I put all the structure together the right way. You should go in with confidence. Again, remember I said fear is doubt. Now, I told you I was going to give you a golden nugget. So there's a video I did some time ago. I keep mentioning videos in here because this is so paramount to everything we're doing. But there's a video, Unconventional Strategies of Success. And my argument there is that success is not a destination. Success are actual steps and milestones on this journey that we have. So if you want to get rid of fear and build up confidence, you will set up micro moments, goals, milestones along your path. Getting incorporated, getting permits and license, signing a lease, getting first sale, whatever it is. These are milestones that are levels of success, and it reminds you that you are succeeding, therefore allowing you to get rid of the doubt that you have in your mind, therefore getting rid of the fear. I used to take martial arts, Taekwondo. Yes, at one time when I was younger, and I had a Master Young. Master Young told me, he said, he was from Korea. He said, in Korea, we have white belt, black belt, no other belts. He said, we came up with other color belts for Americans because Americans need to see progress and some type of gratification. So that's exactly what I'm going to tell you to do. Set up belts. Set up milestones for you can feel like you're progressing and you don't have to worry from starting a white belt and waiting 10 years to get to black belt. Now, if you need to be able to prepare your company a little bit more effective to be confident, here's a video right here on how to do correct preparations and startups and the structure and the whole works. Now over here, I'm going to say that this one is just as powerful and you need to look at this particular video as well. This is your boy J.I., a Random Podcast. Hopefully this was helpful. If so, put it in the comments. I'll see you on the other side.